Hi. Yeah, good morning. Fine. Is it visible? Are you able to see my screen? Right. I think his voice is clear, right? Okay, right. Thank you. Yep. Fine. Yeah, in last class we were discussed how to install some web servers, app servers, right? Um, discussed that web servers are for what? To deploy static and static web pages. We discussed this, right? Okay, here we can deploy some static web pages like HTML files. Okay, and we are seeing some examples like web servers like Apache. Okay, and Nginx. Okay, discuss these things. And its default port we are seeing like 80, and default deployment path also we discussed like var www html, right? And go for app servers. We discussed this app servers for what? To deploy static and dynamic static and dynamic pages, static and dynamic web pages like .html and var. Okay, you can deploy some different files here in this app servers. You see some examples here like Tomcat, okay, JBoss, and WebLogic, WebSphere. Okay, so we have some different app servers, and we're seeing some its port like 8080 for Tomcat. This is for Tomcat, and we're seeing even deployment path for Tomcat. Yeah, var lib Tomcat web apps, right? So we have some different deployment path and ports for these web servers and app servers. Okay, so we discussed this. Web servers are to deploy the static pages. Okay, and app servers are for both static and dynamic web pages. We have seen some examples like Apache, Nginx, like for web servers, and app servers we had seen like Tomcat, JBoss, WebLogic, WebSphere, right? And here we have some port and deployment paths. Here my requirement is to manage all these servers. Okay, so I want to manage all these servers. It could be web servers or app servers. I'll give one scenario. Okay, like how these servers can manage. You can just see this one. Right. See this one. Here I have a server. Okay. So I want to manage this server. So here I install some app servers or web servers, something. Okay. Like Tomcat I installed. Here I deployed some application. Then how users will access it? These users will connect to the server and they will get this response. Okay. This process and go for this servers. Suppose if you have a single server here and multiple users will send the request to this server. Okay. If number of requests are increased, what will happen? At certain point, this server is going to crash. Okay. So the server is going to crash here. So to avoid this server crash, we can just configure multiple servers. Okay, we can scale these servers. Okay, we can just scale it. instead of one server, I'll take some multiple servers. Okay. I'll take two more servers. I said server 2 and server 3. So even the same server, I will just deploy this application, the same application. Okay. Then multiple users will send the request to its different servers. Fine. But the question is, the user will send a request to which server? To which server? Like server 1, 2, or 3? Okay. Or whether the user knows this server IPs? No, right? So end user won't know the server IPs. Okay. So end user knows always the domain name. Through domain name, he will access it, right? Okay. So here end user does not know all these server IPs, right? So what we can do is, here we can configure one load balancer. Okay, I'll just configure my load balancer here. I'll take one HA proxy. HA proxy load balancer. So this users, the end users will send a request to this HA proxy. Okay. So from here we can redirect a request to its backend servers. Okay. You got the point here. So first the users will send the request to load balancer like HA proxy. So from here the request will redirect to its backend servers. Okay. Now HA proxy contains the two things here. One is front end, and next one is back end. So what this front end will do? Front end will get this request from end users. Okay, that request will distribute to it backend servers. Okay, and front end will have some default port like 80. Okay, so front end will have a default port like 80. So that request will get to this HA proxy, okay, and HA proxy will redirect the request to its backend servers, okay. So it is a process in this HA proxy, okay. Now, how the HA proxy will work? HA proxy can use some algorithms. It can use some algorithms like round robin, and one more thing, least con, okay. You can use what different algorithms here, round robin and least con. If it is a round robin, how it will work? You see this, the first request goes to first server, okay, second request goes next server, again the next request goes to third server, okay. So HA proxy will distribute the requests to its backend servers. And if you go for least con, the HA proxy will check the servers like which contains least connections or least number of connections. Suppose here I said server 2 is having some 10 different requests. Server 1 is having only some 2 requests. Server 3 is having some 15 requests. Okay, 15 different requests. Now, if you have a new request from this user, okay, now this new request will redirect to a server which contains least number of connections or least connections. Okay, so we know that this first server is having some least connections, so the request will goes to the server which contains least connections. Is it clear? Okay, so like this HA proxy will use some different algorithms. Okay, it can use some round robin. In case of round robin, what will happen? The first request goes to first server. Okay, so next the request will redirect to this other servers. Okay, so we are seeing this round robin algorithm. And one more thing, I said least con, right? So in least con, what will happen? HA proxy will check which server is having some least number of connections, right? I said my first server is having some least connections. Only 2 connections are there. So that new request goes to the server. Here, what is the advantage with the HA proxy? You see this advantage, like if one server is crash, even the other servers will work and they will process our request. Okay, So even one server is crashed. I said server 2 is crashed, right? Then other servers will work and they will process our request. So end user will always get some response from other servers. Okay, and end user does not identifies that in background some of the servers are fail or crash. Okay, so end user does not identify this. He will always get a response from other servers. So is what high availability. Okay, so here basically what is HA proxy? HA proxy is one load balancer. I said is a load balancer, so which can distribute our workload to its backend servers. It's clear for you. Now, HA proxy can have these things like front end. I said front end can have a port like what? 80 port. Okay, and backend ports are depends on the backend servers. Suppose if I'm using Tomcat, I'll get the port like 80. If I'm using again some web servers, I'll get port like 80. If I'm using database servers, I'll get some port like some 3306. Okay, can you see this? The backend ports are depends on this servers, backend servers what we are using. Okay, if I'm using web servers, I got some port 80. Okay, if I'm using some app servers like some Tomcat, I have some port like 80. If I'm using some database servers like MySQL, okay, what's the MySQL port? Some 3306. So like this, backend ports are depends on your backend servers. Okay, and front end port could be 80. It's clear for you. And what are two different algorithms we are using here? I said one is round robin, and next one least con. Okay, fine. I'll just show this process for you, like what is HA proxy, all those things. So after we discuss the same diagram, like how this HA proxy will work, we are seeing like a users will send the request to HA proxy, its backend servers, ports, right? See, basically what is HA proxy? Just see here, HA proxy, which stands for high availability proxy. Is a high availability proxy is a popular open source TCP HTTP load balancer. Okay, load balancer. And HA proxy will do what? Its most common use is to improve performance and reliability of server environment by distributing the workload across multiple servers. Okay, so what HA proxy can do? It can distribute the workload across multiple servers. Okay, like it could be web servers, app servers, database servers, and so on. Okay, and one more thing, HA proxy can use in different servers, like some it could be Linux servers, Solaris, or free BSD. You know what is BSD? Berkeley Software Distribution, right? It's one of the flavor of Unix. Okay, so HA proxy can configure on different Linux or Unix flavors. Okay, so what is the need for HA proxy? Its most common use is what? To improve performance and reliability of server environment by distributing the workload across multiple servers. And where we can use HA proxy? See, it is used in many high profile environments like GitHub, Instagram, Twitter. In different cases, we can use our HA proxy. Okay, it's clear for you. We have seen like how HA proxy will work and what are different things in HA proxy. One is front end and back end. What front end will do always will get the request from end user, and back end will distribute the request to its servers. Okay, fine. So now we can see like how this HA proxy will work. Just see this process. See this HA proxy terminology. One is like front end and back end. See this one. Back end is a set of servers that receives a forwarded request. And backends are defined in the backend section of HA proxy configuration. Okay, so we can define these things in backend section of HA proxy configuration and what it contains, which load balance algorithm to use, and list of servers and their ports. Okay, We are seeing we were use some two different algorithms here. I said one is what like least count, okay, and round robin. If it is round robin, how it will work? I said the first request goes to first server, next request goes to the other servers, right? So like this, request will distribute to its backend servers. But go for least count is not like this. Least count will check the servers which contains least number of connections, right? So what backend contains, which load balance algorithm to use, and list of servers and ports. And go for front end. Front end defines how the request should be forwarded to backend. Forwarded to backend, right? Yes, the front end will get the request from end users, right? And it will distribute to its backend servers. Okay, so is what like front end. And see this, these two different algorithms. I said round robin and least count. How round robin will select the servers? Just see here. Round robin select the servers in turns. In turns. Okay, and round robin is a default algorithm. Okay, and go for least count. How the least count will select the servers? Right. It will select the servers with the least number of connections. Least number of connections. I said my first server is having 10 different requests. Second server is having only 3 requests. That new request will goes to server 2, so which contains least connections, right? So is what like least count, and least count is recommended for longer sessions. Okay, so if you maintain some longer sessions, so least count is always preferable. Okay, so up to now what we discussed, like what is HA proxy and what are the two things like front end and back end for HA proxy, and what are different algorithms for HA proxy, right? Okay, now we can see this HA proxy configuration. Okay, the question is how to install HA proxy. Um, if you want to configure HA proxy, we have to take minimum some two servers, two backend servers. Okay, two servers are required and one HA proxy. So in total, we need some 3 servers. Okay, we need some 3 servers. So at backend servers, you can install any web servers or app servers. Okay, you can install anything here. I'll just show once again. That these two are backend servers, and it is my HA proxy. Here, what I said, at backend, I have to install either web servers or app servers. Okay, at HA proxy, the question is how to install all these packages. First, create 3 servers, 3 instances. It could be Google Cloud instance or Amazon Cloud instances. Okay, just create 3 instances at first. And we know this this installation process for web servers. If it is Ubuntu machines, how I'll install it? apt-get install Apache. Apache 2 is a package. Okay, we discussed this. And to install app servers like Tomcat, apt-get install Tomcat or Tomcat 7. Okay, so you can install some packages here and go for HA proxy. How to install HA proxy? Yeah, if it is Ubuntu machines, so apt-get install HA proxy. And if it is any Red Hat machine or CentOS machine, you can use yum install HA proxy. Okay, so you can install this HA proxy at first. Okay, and then we can manage these 2 backend servers, right? Now you can see like how to install the HA proxy. What are the commands we're using here? Either apt-get install HA proxy or yum install HA proxy. Fine. Let's see this process. What I will do is I'll just take some servers first. So let me create some 3 servers. So let me connect with my cloud. This running instance. I'll just stop this instance or terminate it. Fine. I'll take one more server here. Some launch instance. So we know how to launch these instances. You can go for either Amazon Linux or Ubuntu. Fine, I'll go for some Amazon Linux. I'll show this process for you. T2 micro instance. So which is having 1 CPU and 1 GB RAM, right? And we need some one instance here with some 8 GB hard disk. So you can provide some tags here, like some labels it is, right? I said server 2, I said configured security group. So in our earlier class we have seen, right, how to create security group. Okay, so to my security group and review and launch. I launch my instance. Fine. Okay, fine. Let it launch. And I have 2 more servers here. So in total, I'm using some 3 servers here. Okay. So one is HA proxy, and next server 1 and server 2. Fine. Fine here. Let me connect with the servers. At first, HA proxy. I'll just copy this username and host name, right? And go for server 1. Connect, copy this username and host name. I'll go for the server 2. Fine. So how to confirm this machine types? Cat etcos release. Okay. This is an Ubuntu machine it is, right? It's HA proxy. Let me switch to root user. We know this sudo su hyphen. So this with this command I'll just switch to root user. Okay. Fine. And how to install HA proxy? First let me update packages. So apt-get update. So I'll do this command. So let me update these packages. This command executed here, apt-get update. Fine, let me install HA proxy. apt-get install HA proxy -y. So I'll just install HA proxy. It shows that it is already installed. Fine. It's already installed for the newest version. And next, I'll go for its backend servers. I said, right, backend servers, we have to install either web servers, app servers. So it depends, right? Fine, let me go with some web servers. Let me install it. Okay. It's a Ubuntu machine. How to confirm this? Cat etc os release is a Ubuntu machine, right? It's a Ubuntu machine. Fine. Let me update my packages. I said apt-get update. Okay. Okay, fine. We are not root user. First, let me switch root user. How to switch? Sudo su hyphen. Okay. I'll just switch to root user. We have discussed this. What is sudo? Yeah. Super user do su, like some switch user. Hyphen denotes what? Home directory. Okay. Like we said, super user do switch user, and hyphen denotes what? Home directory. Okay. So I'll just switch to my root user's home directory. Fine. Okay, super user is the root user, right? So I'll just switch to my root user's home directory. Okay. Fine. Let me update these packages. I said apt-get update. So here I want to install some web server, right? Let us see how to install web servers. Apt-get install. What's the package we discussed in last class for web servers? Apache 2. Apache 2 is a package for Ubuntu machines. Fine. It's already installed. Okay. So it is in case of server 1. And how to start services for this? Service Apache restart. Service Apache restart. If you do this one, Apache service is going to start. Okay. Fine. And what is the deployment path? The deployment path for app servers, web servers. You see, right, var www HTML. Okay. Just go to this path. Can you see this file index.html? I'll just remove this file. Let me create a new file here. So vi index.html. Okay. I'll just specify this. Let me write some HTML code. Don't worry about this HTML codes. We won't write all these things. Okay. Generally, our dev team will do this. Will do this process. Okay. I'm writing one demo code here. So, hello from web server 1. So, web server. Hello from web server 1. So we just deployed our file in this path var www HTML, right? I'll just go to this browser. I get my server 1 IP, public IP, right? I'll just get this. I will add here. Can you see this? Hello from web server 1. Next, I want to configure second server. Okay, I'll do the same process. See, for second server is what? Amazon Linux. It's not Ubuntu, it's a Amazon Linux AMI. Okay. Fine. How do you get the current user? Said foo yam I. My current user is what? EC2 user. Fine. What I will do is I'll just switch to my root user. So sudo su hyphen Okay, just switch to root user and let me update packages. Here's the command to update packages. Can you use apt-get update? You said apt-get update, throw. So error, command not found. Okay, so Amazon Linux is a Red Hat flavored, it's not Ubuntu flavored. So for Red Hat flavored, how to update packages? Right, yum update, right? So yum update, yep, just update our packages. So let me do this. Fine. It's going to install some required packages. So let it do this. So after what we did, we just configured server 1, okay, and we installed some packages, okay. Install these packages and we deployed one file here. One sample file is deployed. Hello from web server 1 something, okay. And you go for the second server. Yes, it's updated. I use a command what? Yum update, okay. So now let me install some packages. I said yum install. I want to install my web server. What web server package? For Ubuntu machines, we will use a package like Apache, right? You know this Apache is a web server for Ubuntu machines. And go for app servers. What's the package here? HTTPD. Okay. HTTPD is a package. So let me install this one. Fine. This package is installed. Next, I want to deploy my file here. What's the deployment path? Var www html. Okay. Here there's no file. Fine. Let me create a new file here. So vi index.html. I'll just specify some code here. Some There's one sample HTML code I'm writing here. So good day from web server 2. Okay. Good day from web server 2. Okay. Now what I will do is I'll just check my services. A command like netstat-lntp, which can display all ports for us, current listening ports. I'm using command like netstat-lntp. Have you find any port like 80? No, right? That is server is not, the service is not started, right? I'll start with service. So service HTTPD start. So HTTPD service is started. It's clear for you. It's started. Now we can verify this port once again. Netstat-lntp. Okay. Can you see this port? So port 80 is started. Okay. Fine. So now we can do one thing. We can just get this second server public IP. Okay. We can access. Just do one thing. I'll copy this public IP. I will add here. Can you see this? It is web server 2. Okay. So good day from web server 2, and it is a web server 1. So these two servers I want to manage with this HA proxy. Okay. So why these two colors are only for differentiation. Okay, it's not other use, only to differentiate web server apps. This server 2, just choose some different colors. Okay, fine. Now these two servers I want to manage by this HA proxy. Okay. So already we installed HA proxy. You can just go to server 1 and you can check it. Okay. I'll just specify this HA HA proxy hyphen version. So it shows the current version of HA proxy what we installed. Okay, 1.4.24, fine. And once you install HA proxy, we have to configure this. Okay, thing is, all these three are independent servers. Okay, so there is no configuration between HA proxy and other servers, right? So we have to configure it, and there's a file called haproxy.cfg. And the file it is haproxy.cfg. So we have to configure this file. Okay, I'll just show this process for you. So va/etc haproxy.cfg. Okay, so here we have to add some new code. So the code what I already added. I'll just explain this code, what we are added in this haproxy.cfg. Okay, see this one. I said one is like global, and daemon. What does daemon denotes? So daemon denotes what? Like it's a background service. It's a background service. Fine. Max connection. This haproxy can handle how many connections? I said some 256 connections. Okay, it is purely depends on your server configuration. If you're using high-end servers, so you can make it some millions of connections, no issues. Okay, so I made it some 256. So if you want, you can change it. You can change it to some 500,000, depends, right? That purely depends on your server configurations. And next one, defaults. Okay, so here we have to specify the default mode like HTTP, I said. Okay, so and one more thing, timeout. What is this timeout? Can you just see an example like IRCTC? If you just connect it to this IRCTC website, if you just wait for some 5 minutes or 10 minutes in an ideal state, okay, then what will happen? Your section will expire, right? Not on IRCTC, you go for any banking website, the same thing will happen. If you just idle for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, the session will expire. So again, you have to re-log in, right? Same way, here we can set some time for this session. Is a session time for this connection. I set some 5,000 milliseconds, and session time for this client, for the client connection, I set 50,000 milliseconds. For server, I set again 50,000 milliseconds, right? And this time is not fixed. Again, you can change it. Okay, you can just modify these values, right? And next one is what, like some default timeout for these connections, client and server. And one more thing here, you can just specify front end, back end. Okay, here what is front end? We discussed this front end can get the requests from end users. Okay, we discussed this. Front end will always get the request from end users. Okay, we'll get it. The request will be forwarded to backend servers, right? So what I will do is I'll just specify this default port for front end. So what is the default port here? Some says 80 port here, and it's algorithm. So balance algorithm is, I said, some round robin. Okay, if you want, you can change it. You can change this. You can change this one to least con. Okay, we discussed, right? You can use some two different algorithms like either round robin or else least con. I said least con is recommended for what? For longer sessions, right? So fine, let it be the default one. Okay, I won't modify this. So let it be the default one, like round robin. Okay, fine. Next one is default backends. Okay, so once you got the request for this front end, so it should distribute to its backend servers. Okay, so it's a backend servers. Okay, so I have some multiple servers at backend. Okay, I will just distribute my request to its backend servers. Okay, set backend server. That is what the request we got to its front end. So that will forward it to its backend servers. Okay, so we are using the same label here. So I want to distribute my request to its backend servers. So at backend servers, we have to specify some multiple ports. Okay, I'll specify some labels here: web server 1 and web server 2. I'll get my two different server IP addresses. I'll get it first. It could be internal IP or external IP. I'll get the server 2 IP address. I will add here. Okay, and I'll get my server 1 IP. Okay, so it is server 1 IP address, public IP address, and it is server 2 IP address. If you want, you can just configure private IP, no issues for us. No, you can just configure even private IPs because all these three machines are in same region, right? Okay, if they're in same region, how they'll communicate? Through private IP. Okay, we'll just set the port default port some 80. Fine. Checks connections, max connection. See here, max connection is on 256 here, as I've just specified this. It is for HA proxy, but how about backend servers? I said each server can handle some 32 requests, 32 different requests. Okay, and it is again some depends on your machine configuration. If you are using high-end machines, you can just change these values. Okay, so I set only some 32 requests here. You see this one up to what we configured here, a file like some haproxy.cfg. So there you have specified its daemon and max connection for haproxy and timeout for this connection, server and client. Okay, and you have seen even this backend servers and its algorithm we are using, what we are using here, and backend servers and their ports and checks maximum connection for individual servers. Okay, I'll just do some changes. I'll save it. :WQ, write and quit. Okay, fine. I'll do some more changes in a file called /etc default proxy. Okay, so earlier what we modified /etc haproxy.cfg. Now the second file I'm modifying here /etc default haproxy.cfg. Okay, in default here enable values 0. If you want, you just make it to 1. Okay, set enable 1. What is enable 1? Okay, if you want to let this haproxy to run continuously, okay, even though suppose whenever you just log into a machine, so if you want to let the haproxy to run continuously, you can make it enable 1. Okay, so haproxy will service automatically up and run. Okay, so I'll just enable 1 here, but the changes we have to save it. Okay, so how can you do this? I'll just restart the service haproxy restart. Okay, fine, it's restarted. It's showing some, we are doing some balance algorithm like some round robin, fine, but the service is restarted. So up to now, what are the things we are configured? One is /etc haproxy.cfg. Okay, so here we have specified this haproxy configurations and this backend servers, and one more file we are modified. What is it? /etc default HA proxy, right? Fine. Now let me restart the service. Already restarted. We are use a command like service HA proxy restart. So I'll get my HA proxy IP address. Earlier we have selected server 1 and server 2 IPs, right? Now I'll go for HA proxy IP. HA proxy IP address. See, we got response from backend servers. Okay, I'll just refresh it. See, we got some response from again backend server, other servers. Server 1, refresh it. Server 2. So can you see this here? Same IP, that is HA proxy IP. Okay, same HA proxy IP. Okay, but it's giving some output from different server, different backend servers. That is HA proxy will manage these two backend servers, right? Okay. So any doubts up to here? So fine. Any questions? Fine, fine. Thank you, Chetan. Yep. It's about request crash server. The server is already handled few requests. Those are in process. Yeah, HA proxy will have this health check. It's going to check this health of the server. Okay. Yes, yes. So whenever suppose if we have some any request is expired, so again we have to relog into this server. Okay, we have to relog in. Fine. For Devops, there is no prerequisites. So you can learn directly, no issues. Okay. So already we have started two more batches at 7 a.m. and 6 p.m. You can also attend for these batches if you want. Right. So which command for showing both web server? You can have multiple connections, no issues for that. Actually, there is a purely depends on your um, the server configuration, what you are using. Okay. Right. Just contact office here. Yeah, no issues with the developer or some DBA. So irrespective of background, you can learn DevOps. There are no issues for this DevOps. I said right, there is no prerequisite for DevOps, so anyone can learn it. No issues. So to learn the DevOps, you should know Java, .NET, nothing. Okay. Yeah, you can just check it. You said right, we have file hproxy.cfg. Okay, you can just check it. So let me specify this. So cat etc hproxy.cfg. So it has two connections here. Two servers just configured. Configure multiple servers like this. Okay, fine. Fine. Okay. So on tomorrow class we'll see like how to configure multiple HA proxies. Actually, we've seen only one HA proxy, right? Okay, but we have provision to configure multiple HA proxies. Okay. Um, can you see this here? This diagram here. We have multiple HA proxies. Okay. load balancer 1, load balancer 2. Okay, even one load balancer is failed, is down. Okay, so other load balance will work and they will process our request. Okay, fine. Suppose I said it is failed, it is crash. Then other load balance will work, other HA proxy will work, and it will process our request. So like we can create multiple HA proxies. We can configure it, right? Fine, you can see the rest of things on tomorrow. Okay, fine. Let me close the session now. We'll see you on tomorrow. Right, thank you.